here to answer the age-old question, should you wash your fiddle? And the answer is yes and no. So if it needs it, but you need to be careful how you do it. So you don't necessarily have to get into a bunch of cleaners and things like that, because if you are maintaining your fiddle well, then you're never going to have enough buildup to have to do some serious cleaning. So the first thing you should do is wipe it down with a soft cloth. I use this one. It's soft, it doesn't have lint, and I just use it to wipe the rosin off the top of my fiddle after I play it. Because I do that, it doesn't get a buildup. Now, if you have never done that, you may have a massive buildup, and some people see that as kind of a award almost, to have that massive rosin buildup. And in the old-time fiddle world, some people believe it makes their fiddle sound better. And, well, it does make it sound different in some way. It has to when something's caked on top. Personally, I think a clean fiddle sounds better. So I like to clean it off after I play it, or at least every couple of times after I play it, and dust it off too, because I leave it sitting around. This is my new 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝐽, by the way. Video about this coming soon. I've had it a couple of months. There's some YouTube out there of me playing it with 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝐽. So more video coming soon, and you'll see me play this in every one of my instructional videos. So that's step one. Wipe down your fiddle. 2, clean your strings. Now, to clean your strings, you're going to have to be very careful with this. Just rubbing alcohol. Now, I prefer the little swabs, if you can get them in those little containers, the ones that they use before they give you a shot. Those work really well, but I haven't been able to find where I put those, so it's just this. So what you do is you just dab a little bit on this rag. Use a different one than you use to wipe it down. At least I prefer to do that. And you just put it around the strings, and you just clean the rosin off the strings. Be very, very careful that you do not touch the finish. Alcohol will take the finish off of most fiddles, and it'll happen faster than you believe. So you need to be really careful. No drips. They get a little bit of alcohol on the rag, but it should not be dripping. Be very, very careful. And if you clean your strings, that's going to help your fiddle sound better. When your strings get caked with rosin, the tone starts to go away. It's not so great. Now, don't use anything alcohol-based at all. So before you go and use some kind of a cleaner, you need to check. Most instrument cleaners are not going to have alcohol in them, but with anything you use, you need to check on it. Is it for fiddles or violins? Is it made for that? Does it work for the type of finish you have? Now, for a fiddle like this, I was able to ask Russell, is there anything I should know? What should I clean it with? Russell's preference is, not surprisingly, wipe the darn thing down. And then, if you need to clean something off it, to use a damp rag or even a tiny bit of soap if you have to. That's going to work for most fiddles. With everything, though, you should try a tiny little spot, and if you know the maker, you should talk to them. If you have a reputable violin or fiddle shop around you, talk to them before you do anything to your fiddle. Now, you can go buy all those fancy cleaners, and I've tried some of them, but personally, I've found there's just no substitute for cleaning off your fiddle before it gets dirty. Now, if yours is just absolutely caked with rosin, take it to a violin shop, get it professionally cleaned. They won't use the wrong stuff. As long as they're a reputable shop, they won't use the wrong stuff, and they'll be able to clean it off. It'll look as good as new. This one is new, by the way. It's just he antiqued it. So it looks as good as 100 years old, doesn't it? More on that soon. I can't wait to do a video showing this off, but I just can't stop playing it. Every time I want to do a video, I can't stop playing it. So anyway, that's what you need to know. In summary, wipe down your darn fiddle to get the rosin off it. Clean the strings. Use alcohol. Do not get alcohol on the finish of your fiddle. If you buy a commercial cleaner, be very careful. Check with a luthier first. Check a small spot to make sure it's going to work. You can't go wrong with a damp rag, but again, not dripping. You don't want to get drops of water in, especially where there isn't finish. You don't want to get drops of water on your fiddle. And if you need to use a mild detergent, just check with a luthier first to make sure there's not something about your fiddle that does not make that okay. But you're most likely going to be okay. All right, everybody, let me know in the comments how you clean your fiddle. Do you wash your fiddle? Do you take it through a car wash like the thumbnail that Hazel made for this video? What do you do? Also, if you want to check out more about my fiddle, my new 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝐽 fiddle, before I get around to making that YouTube video, just search 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝐽 for recent videos. 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝐽 the egg, there's some videos there. And then 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝗽 the mainstay. And there's like 90 minutes of video there. So check it out. All right, if you like this video and this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel and click the like button, all that stuff. I will see you all in the next video.